Welcome to Silent Secrets. In today's video, we're peeling back the curtain on one of the most misunderstood pieces of breakup advice ever given. Everyone tells you the same thing. Go silent. Ignore her. Disappear. She'll come running back. You've heard it 1,000 times before. But no one tells you why it works, or why it often doesn't. See? The truth isn't as simple as disappearing and waiting for a miracle text. Most men get this completely wrong. Not because the advice is bad, but because they follow it for the wrong reasons, with the wrong mindset, at the wrong time. So today we're going deep into the psychology of silence, what it really does, why most men fail, and what truly happens when you go completely quiet, not to manipulate her, but to transform yourself. This is not a game. It's not revenge. It's an emotional reconstruction, a dismantling of the dependency you've built, and a reintroduction to the man you were before you forgot who you were. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Myth of Ignoring Her. Most breakup advice reduces something profound to a cheap tactic. Go no contact and she'll miss you. But silence isn't a strategy to make her chase you. It's not punishment. It's not a test. It's self-preservation. You're not ignoring her to prove a point. You're withdrawing from chaos so you can rebuild your emotional architecture. You're performing psychological surgery, cutting out the infection of dependence, obsession, and validation seeking. But here's where men fail. They treat silence like a countdown to her return. 30 days of no contact, and suddenly she'll be back in your arms. That's not discipline. That's delusion. Silence isn't a timer you set. It's a mirror you face, and most men don't like what they see when the noise fades. Chapter 2. The Collapse of Emotional Control. The first few days of no contact feel like chaos. Day 1. You're scrolling through her messages. Day 3. You're checking her Instagram stories every hour. Day 7. You're typing messages and deleting them. By day 14, you've convinced yourself that just checking in isn't breaking the rule. And by day 21, you've cracked. You've sent the message you swore you never would. Hope you're doing well. 4 harmless words that scream weakness. What you just told her is, you still control me. You've reset the clock, not on her feelings, but on your healing. And here's the most brutal truth. Most men don't fail because they miss her. They fail because they can't stand facing themselves without her. Chapter 3. The real purpose of silence. Silence isn't for her. It's for you. You're detoxing from the dopamine she once provided. The constant hit of attention. Validation. Affection. You're going through chemical withdrawal, just like an addict. Every notification you hope to see from her. Every dream you replay in your mind. Every time you scroll through her photos just once more. That's not love. That's addiction trying to find its next hit. And silence, real silence, is rehab. It's the process of tearing away the chemical leash she left wrapped around your emotions. This is not about making her miss you. It's about making yourself whole again without her. Chapter 4. The first battle, panic and fear. What if she finds someone else? What if she forgets about me? That's the fear whispering in your mind. The fear that fuels most relapses. And yes, she might move on. She might date someone new. She might forget the version of you that existed before the silence. But if that thought destroys you, you were never doing this for yourself. You were doing it to keep. Control. True detachment means accepting that she might never come back, and still being okay with that. That's where your power begins, because the moment your peace depends on another person, you've already lost it. Chapter 5. The Illusion of Control. You can't time emotions like you time a stock trade, yet most men try. If I message her on day 37 with the perfect text, she'll respond positively. You're not managing an algorithm. You're dealing with human emotion, unpredictable, irrational, uncontrollable. The only thing you truly control is your response, and that's where most fail. Because even in silence, they're still orbiting her, stalking her social media, decoding her captions, living through her digital ghost. You're not silent if she still owns your attention. You're just a quiet puppet. Chapter 6. Self-improvement or performance. Men love to say, "I'll get in shape and she'll regret leaving. I'll make money and she'll want me back. I'll post pictures with other women and she'll get jealous." That's not growth. That's theater. You're not evolving. You're performing for an audience that might not even be watching. Real self-improvement doesn't announce itself. It happens in silence, away from the cameras, the stories, the followers. The only validation that matters is the one that doesn't need to be seen. Chapter 7. The stages of emotional detox. The silence will test you in waves. Week 1. Confusion. You'll feel like your entire identity is dissolving. Week 2. Anger. You'll hate her, then yourself, then the silence. Week 3. Bargaining. You'll find excuses to reach out. Week 4. Depression. You'll believe you've lost everything. But somewhere between week 6 and week 8, something changes. You'll wake up one morning and realize you didn't think about her immediately. That's the first sign of freedom. Not indifference, but peace. You've survived the storm, and the noise in your mind has finally gone quiet. Chapter 8. The mind rewires itself every time you resist checking her profile. You're creating new neural pathways. Every day you remain silent. You're teaching your brain that validation isn't survival. You're rebuilding yourself, neuron by neuron, habit by habit. This is neuroscience, not mysticism. And the beauty of it is, your silence doesn't just rebuild your love life. It rebuilds your entire emotional architecture. You start to respond differently in your career, your friendships, your next relationships, because emotional discipline doesn't stay contained. It spills into everything. Chapter 9. Letting go, as power. Most men confuse holding on with strength, but any fool can cling. Real power is in the letting go. Real strength is the ability to walk away from what you want most and be okay never having it again. That's not defeat. That's maturity. When you stop chasing what's running, you stop running yourself. And when you stop running, you start standing. Tall, calm, unshakable. Chapter 10. Her emotional tests. Your silence will provoke reactions. Week 1. A simple hey. Week 2. A random story view. Week 3. Real mature. Ignoring me. Week 4. I miss you. Understand this, these aren't genuine emotions. They're control mechanisms. Your silence disrupts her emotional dominance, forcing her to test your stability. Don't respond. Don't interpret. Don't feed it. Because every time you hold your ground, you're not proving anything to her. You're proving something to yourself. Chapter 11. The misconception of time. You can't measure healing in days. 30. Days of silence after a 5-year relationship is laughable. Real. Emotional rewiring takes months, sometimes years. Strategic patience isn't waiting, it's active. Restraint. Every day you stay silent. You make hundreds of micro decisions not to react. That's not passivity. That's control. You're not waiting for her to return. You're waiting for the part of you that needs her to die. Chapter 12. The addiction to analysis. She viewed my story. What does it mean? She liked my friend's photo. Is she trying to get my attention? None of it means anything. She's living her life, and you're still living inside her digital shadow. The moment you stop analyzing her actions, you break the invisible leash that keeps you tied to her. Freedom doesn't come from her message. It comes from your ability to not care whether it arrives. Chapter 13. The difference between distance and ignoring distance is discipline. Ignoring is manipulation. One comes from self-respect. The other comes from ego. You're not silent to punish her. You're silent to protect yourself. Silence without growth is just noise turned off. Silence with awareness is evolution. Chapter 14. Emotional neutrality. Detachment doesn't mean coldness. You're not trying to feel nothing. You're learning to feel without obeying. You can care without chasing. You can love without losing yourself. You can want her without needing her. Neutrality is balance. The ability to feel deeply while staying centered. Chapter 15. The mirror of rejection doesn't cause pain. It exposes it. Her leaving didn't break you. It revealed where you were already broken. It showed the parts of you that depended on her for identity. The breakup isn't punishment. It's a mirror, a brutal, honest reflection of what still needs healing. Pain, when faced consciously, becomes wisdom. Pain avoided becomes repetition. Chapter 16. Rebuilding the masculine core. This process isn't just about loss. It's about resurrection. You're rediscovering who you were before you needed her validation. That calm confidence that existed before you started walking on eggshells. That inner stability that doesn't beg, chase, or panic. This isn't becoming someone new. It's remembering who you were before dependency buried you. Chapter 17. She was a mirror, not a missing piece. She didn't complete you. She reflected you. Her presence activated certain sides of you. Her absence reveals others. She wasn't the missing puzzle piece. She was the mirror showing where you stopped being whole, and now that's your work. Chapter 18. When she returns, it often happens. A text, a call, a random, "Hey, how have you been?" This is your real test. If her message excites you, you're not healed. If her message annoys you, you're still reactive. But if her message simply exists, and you remain calm, you've won. You don't need revenge. You don't need closure. You've already found both, in your silence. Chapter 19. The Brotherhood of Silence. Every man who's truly gone through this knows what it feels like. The sleepless nights. The scrolling temptation. The ghost conversations. But every man who's come out, the other side also knows the freedom, the peace, the power. The unshakable calm that comes when you no longer crave what once controlled you. This brotherhood isn't about bitterness, it's about mastery. Because when you master your silence, you master yourself. Chapter 20. The Final Truth Ignoring. Her was never about her. It was about you, and the weaker version of you that needed her validation to feel worthy. Silence isn't a trick. It's a weapon. Not against her, but against your old self. You don't win when she comes back. You win when it no longer matters if she does. That's when you've finally broken the cycle. That's when the silence has done its job. Welcome to freedom. Welcome to self-sovereignty. Welcome to the version of yourself that no longer needs to chase peace, because you've become it. This is Silent Secrets. If you've walked through the silence and found strength, share your story below. Someone else needs to hear that they're not alone tonight, because your discipline, your pain, and your truth might be the message that saves someone else's silence.